Yo, what's up, Bulls fans? Today, we're going to be talking about how the Bulls can sneak into the NBA draft this year. I think that they can, but the odds are very, very low, and there's a few different ways that we can get in. We can make a trade for a first-round pick, or, create a package deal with one of our players surrounding it. Like, I know DeMar, we could definitely book him. AC, we could do. AC, last year at the trade deadline, Acme wanted 2 first rounders for him. So you never know, because AC's value is very high. He's a very talented little guard, and he can definitely he play defense. He can ball, but he definitely needs to work on the shooting aspect. But his shooting this year wasn't as bad as I thought it was. The numbers are pretty high for him. We could also, we have a 1.8% chance at the number 1 overall draft pick, praying for Wemby, but we also have an 8.5% chance at keeping our pick, and it falls in the top 4, which I think 8.5% isn't that bad of a chance, but it's definitely low. But we also have a pick that we have our first round pick that we owe to the Magic via the Vooch trade, and it's ours. Well, it's theirs unless it falls in the top 4, and we definitely need a lot of luck to get a top 4 draft pick. There are a lot of great forwards and especially guards, but there are definitely a lot of great forwards that are on the draft list this year, and we could definitely use one of those on our team because we definitely need some size on our team. There's 2 of them, or 3, 4, because the Thompson brothers. The 4 that I think if we land in top 4 is Brandon Miller. He's very tall, very lengthy, and then we got the Thompson brothers. Actually, it was only 3, but we got the Thompson brothers. They're very. If you watch OTE, they are very agile. They can do a lot of things. They can facilitate. They can shoot. They can finish. I think they could definitely use to bulk up a little bit, but they definitely are a very good set of a duo and brothers. They're very good at basketball. If we land a top 4 pick, it would be huge for the Chicago Bulls because, as I said, we definitely need some size on this team because Billy Donovan loves to go to the small ball, but I'm really looking forward to us getting some lengthier and taller players this offseason, hopefully, so that we can really compete with the higher seeded teams, because this year did not end up how we wanted to end, 40-42, sub 500. We do not want that. We want above 500 so we can make the playoffs, and I'm hoping that we can add some stuff this offseason. But the Blazers, if we could talk to the Blazers, maybe this is a maybe, they could remove the protections on the pick. Could they? Would they? We don't know. But there's been lots of talks. There was talks at the last trade deadline with the GM, the Blazers GM, but I'll get into that. The Blazers could give us the pick, possibly through a trade. You never know. But we should probably draft a lengthier player, as I was saying, like a forward or someone that's taller, like Brandon Miller. And the Thompson brothers are pretty tall. Brandon Miller is definitely a very big. He's a big forward, but the guy that we want is Wemby. We want Wemby, but that's probably not going to happen because we have a 1.8% chance. But if we do, I'm gonna be going crazy on the channel. But the Bulls do have size, but don't really play the size because there's no point for keeping a Marko Simonovic if you're not gonna play him. You can use that money to really put it towards someone else's contract, or add a definition player, a bench player, a role player to add to our bench, because Marko Simonovic is sitting on the bench every game, and he's a center. I know his numbers aren't really crazy, and he's in the G League all the time, and he's a two-way player basically. But I think that if we give Marko a chance, he could shine a little bit, but he's definitely gonna have to prove that and show it to us. But I think that Marko is definitely he's got some good skills. He can do some great things. But we do have our own first round pick in next year in 2024. I believe it's a first rounder, but I'm not 100%. But we could possibly have 2 first round picks next year for the draft. If it is not conveyed in 2023, if the Blazers pick is not conveyed in 2023, and and because the top 4 protected first round pick in 2024, which would be pretty good. But the Orlando Magic own our first round pick, which I was saying. And the pick could also be with the Blazers until they make the playoffs, like the Blazers pick. We need them to make the playoffs for us to get the pick. And it could be with the Blazers. It'll be a first round pick with the Blazers until 2028. And if they don't make the playoffs by 2028, it's going to become a second round pick, which they need to make the playoffs so we can keep that first round pick. And we could discuss changing the protection on the pick that Portland owes us, but we could even trade for the Knicks pick if they give them their own pick back. So the Knicks made the playoffs, so they got a first round pick, and there's definitely some trade scenarios that could go down to really to get some picks or take protection off picks, or there's a lot of different things that could happen this offseason via the what's it called? The picks. There's a lot of picks that could be traded, I believe. And so, as I mentioned before, the Blazers GM was talking about he was talking about the pick at the trade deadline last season, and he was really talking about like what we could do or what we could do together. He was talking with the Chicago front office, and he was talking about like what we could do as a team or like collectively to really try and work a deal out to get what we want for both sides. And he said, pretty much every transaction window to lay a real light foundation. So he's saying that they pretty much talked about everything and what scenarios could go down, what trades could go down, what could happen, like this, that, and that. And he also said whether it's changing the protections to a certain year and deliver it, or we incentivize them somehow just to get the full pick back. It can be a player, it can be all kinds of variations. So as I was saying, they'd be willing to trade maybe a player or maybe another pick, one of their picks to get us back our pick and give us their pick back, or they could get the Knicks pick and we could trade them the protected pick that we gave them or that they have from us. We could trade them the Knicks pick and get our pick back. But the draft is June 22nd and the draft lottery is on May 16th. We have a 1.8% chance to hit the number 1 overall pick. That's the one we want. We want Victor. But the Bulls also owe LA second round pick from, I think it was trade from, it was a few years, like two years ago. It was something with someone, the Lakers sent it to, no, the Washington Wizards sent it to the Lakers from us trading them. I think it was when we traded for Troy Brown Jr., I think. I don't know. But yeah, we owe them a second round pick this year. But yeah, the draft is June 22nd. The draft lottery is May 16th. I'm going to be watching that draft live, and I'm going to be watching that draft lottery live too, because I want to see what we get. Because if we get a top 4 pick, that would be huge for us. That would be absolutely amazing. The Chicago Bulls need so much help this offseason and so many tweaks and changes this offseason. So I'm hoping that this draft can kind of go our way and we can get a little lucky. But that is going to be all for this one. Please let me know what y'all think down low in the comments about what the Bulls should do this offseason or what they should do during the draft if they get a pick, if they get the pick. But that's going to be all. And see you at Bulls Nation.